Hey guys, so for today's video, I am finally doing another Create This Book episode. This is the 19th episode of the series, and since it is summer, I've actually been doing lots of Create This Book lately. Because of this, I've actually done so many pages that I don't think I would be able to fit it all in this video. So you guys will be getting 2 Create This Book episodes back to back. Let's get started with the first prompt. The first prompt says, create a page of emotion. Write about, draw, or attach pictures of at least 3 different emotions here. Because the new Inside Out movie came out recently, I decided to dedicate this page to the characters of Inside Out 2. I started off with anger, and basically I found these step-by-step how to draws on Pinterest for each of the characters, so that was really helpful. Moving on to anxiety, who was a really big character in this movie. I found her really unique to draw. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but usually orange colored pencils are the most pigmented out of any other color. I made a community post about this, but at the rate that I am completing these pages, I think I'll be able to finish my Create This Book by the fall. If not, then at least before this year ends, I hope. Because there's not really that many pages left. I mean, there's still quite a few, but not that many. Basically, I just colored in all of the characters with colored pencil, and then the backgrounds, behind each character, I did with watercolor. I also drew in the Inside Out 2 logo. Here's me drawing Embarrassment, which is a character I found really funny in the movie. Here's me watercoloring backgrounds onto the second page. I think I drew every single emotion, maybe I forgot one, but otherwise I did all of them. Here is the final result of this page. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. It's so colorful, and I think I drew the characters pretty well. The page was looking a bit blank, so I also added these colorful polka dots. That's everything for this page. Let's move on to the next one. The next prompt is called Create a Secret Secret. Write a secret here, cover it up somehow. So I'm just gonna tell you the secret right off the bat, and the secret was there's no secret. I hid it in this mini envelope, and on the top of it I wrote do not open, so when you open it, you can see the secret. Then as you can see right now, if I had left this page just with the envelope, it would have looked really boring, so I added these question mark drawings. I then outlined the question marks, and I wrote on the page with the envelope top secret and shh. I then painted in the question marks with watercolor, but that wasn't dark enough, so I added in gouache. And that was so much more opaque, and it really helped make the entire process easier. Also, by the way, if you thought that all the prompts that I'm going to be doing in this Create This Book episode and the next one are all the prompts I've done recently, it isn't, because I had to make 2 shorts showing the rest of the off-camera pages I did, so go check those out. Here is the end result of this page. For the question mark page, I did a gray background, and for the page with the secret, I colored it in with red gouache. Let's move on to the next prompt. It's called Create Plans for a Building. Draft up some plans for some sort of building or a structure. Don't mind the ugly paint water and the bowl of muesli in the side. I had directly started this prompt right after another page where I was painting, so that's why the paint water's there. Anyways, so I wasn't really feeling like drawing entire blueprints and stuff. That's not really my thing. So I just stuck to drawing a plain and simple tree house. I've actually drawn a tree house before, I think about 3 years ago for a YouTube short. That was only for my sketchbook though, and it was a super colorful one, but this time I just did a normal wooden theme. When it comes to art, I think drawing nature is one of my strengths. I really had a lot of fun drawing this tree. I also love drawing food and objects. I will draw a globe or a paint palette, and it's always fun because I can always think how would I replicate this thing in a drawing and what shapes I would use, etc. I also started with the painting, and I did this with watercolor once again because I have been using so much watercolor lately. I used to really be an alcohol marker type of person, but since my Uhuhu markers have dried out, which is something I talked about in the last Create This Book episode, I have really been just adjusting to using other materials more often. You guys, the amount that I've had to speed these videos up is actually insane. These are 15 to 20 minute long videos that I've had to cut up to be around a minute, maybe even less. When you're painting, it does not feel like it's taking that long. Anyways, like you can see that I went for really natural colors. Like for the tree house, I did like this really nice light kind of brownish yellow. And for the leaves of the trees, I did like a whole bunch of different shades of green because I feel like it just makes it look more interesting than if you just did one shade. Also, it's not like I have the paintbrush on the paper the entire time because like you have to dip it in the paint, then you have to like put a bit of water while dipping it into the paint cup so that you get the right shade. And that all takes a while. I'm also usually watching something whilst doing this because otherwise I get like really bored really easily. So when there's YouTube videos playing in the background, sometimes there's ads you have to skip. Sometimes I have to change the video because I'm bored of the one I'm watching in the current moment. Or the video comes to an end and I have to browse through to find a new one. And that can take a while. I also painted in a blue background for the sky. I was considering to leave this page blank, but then I was like, it's probably gonna look unfinished, so I decided to add another tree, but not with a tree house. Then some grass around it, a couple stones, a log, and then a blue background again. That's it for this page. Here is the end result. I think this page looks cute, and I'm really happy with how the colors turned out. The trees also look really nice, like the branches and the shape. I procrastinated on doing this page for a long time since I was worried that I was going to have to do a lot of complicated blueprints and stuff. Then I looked at Mariah's final flip through and I saw that she just drew like a dessert house. So then I also decided to just show the outside of a structure and not all the planning. Those were all of the on-camera pages, but I've decided to add the 2 shorts into this video just in case you haven't seen them yet, so enjoy! Here are some of the off-camera pages I have done in my Create This book. The first one is called Create Quick Sketches, and it's pretty obvious. You just have to draw a whole bunch of quick doodles in less than 1 minute. I chose to do a space theme, and I colored in all of the individual objects with colored pencil and did a watercolor background. Next, we have Create Color Dispute. You had to draw some scenery and color it in with very unnatural colors. I chose to do a beach resort, so the sand was pink and the ocean is like a magenta color. The sun is green, the sky is like orange, and the nature, so the leaves and stuff are all blue. I also added in some details like a blue turtle. Another prompt is create an empty setting, so you just had to draw any kind of scenery or setting without any people or animals in it. I did like this campfire forest vibe. I also added lots of waterfalls and there's also mountains in the background. That's everything for this short, but there's still lots of other pages, so stay tuned for part 2. This is part 2 of Create This Book off-camera pages. For Create a Grow Chart, you had to show some sort of growing process, so I decided to do metamorphosis. I showcased the cycle of how it goes from a caterpillar to a cocoon to a butterfly. I also added a tulip garden with lots of butterflies flying around, and on the branch you can see the entire process once again. Next, there is create a meal, so you have to showcase your favorite meal. I basically just chose a lot of different foods I like. On one side, I drew savory stuff like avocado toast or pizza, and on the other side, I drew lots of desserts. Then you had to create stencils, and you had to cut out different shapes and then use it as a stencil for the next page. I folded the page in half, cut out half a heart, and then I had a full heart stencil. Then I stenciled those hearts onto the following page. And then I just drew random stuff to fill in the rest of this page. That's it for this short. Stay tuned because a long episode of Create This Book is still coming. That's everything for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it and liked the art I made in it. If you did, then please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, stay tuned for the next video since it's going to be episode 20 of this Create This Book series. Bye guys!